one way where we go one way, and that's west. Alrighty. Dave Grohl it there. Anyway, let's just start with the normal thing, besides complaining how the jump button never works. And that is that this is done on a phone. You might hear clawing and scratching noises to make certain maneuvers happen. Otherwise, it's held at a wide stance to prevent that, but it comes at the cost of some accuracy, such as walking into trees, buildings, and pits of death, which we haven't done in a while and want to keep that way. And we're swinging swords for random reasons. Okay. Alright, not a death pit, which is good, but if we can just get around this, that's fine as well. So as I mentioned, last time we played this, it did not update to the new copper update was around, but it did not update. This time it did. It's kind of a little more manual on Android for some reason versus Windows 10. As soon as you start it up, it's there. I mean, it might be a good thing either way, so it is a Wednesday. It is raining. First break, rained out. Not sure about second break or the lunch. It's supposed to be somewhat spotty, so not sure exactly how it's going to go. Alright, that looks too crowded, so we did not exactly get as far as we would have liked, but we didn't hit too many bottlenecks. It just is that washer-dryer phase was short because I had some time off due to a need to be home. And I'm concentrating on this as I'm going. As well as it was a very light laundry for washer-dryer phase, so it was a bit shorter than usual. I think around almost 20 minutes roughly, and was hoping we'd get to 79:45, but we didn't get there. But for the time that we had available, we didn't do too badly. What would be even better is that we can get out of this. Let me just break this and trying to stay out of the thicker parts of the jungle. That's where the issues lie. That's where the monsters spawn, and that's where death happens. I'm just going to peek over this way. Alright, it looks like we can keep going that way a little bit. I realized, and maybe you've seen it in the last episode or starting this one, although I'm not sure because, again, I didn't notice it. I noticed it last time but didn't notice it starting it up, is there was a portal in which I could have probably looked for some golden apples, did not do it. I mean, so long as the jungle is fairly well lit and we're okay, but now that we're not in a jungle, that's even better. So I'm not sure how much extra content you're getting this week, because it all depends on the rain, and it's relatively spotty. They were saying originally that it was supposed to start Tuesday night and end early Wednesday morning. Now it starts early Wednesday morning and may go into the afternoon. So just take any bit that we can to just get closer to at least the last traversable block. I gotta look it up, but I think that at that point is referred to the near lands. Back when it was physically farlands material. Well, they kind of removed those. I mean, the direction we were going, if farlands existed, it would not be the Swiss cheese cliffs that you would normally see in the direction we're going. It would be, everything would be, all the biomes would be ocean-based. All the villages and other structures would appear as normal if it were on land, but it would be at it would have been at sea level. If I were going in a positive direction, we may have seen the Swiss cheese, the Swiss cheese cliffs. Also, I believe at the, 2.4 million, there was some weird glitch around 2.1, 2.4, where mountains disappear and it's just a giant void with a lava lake at the bottom. Either this Android version is different or it's a positive access thing, because every time I've seen people show that, they're traveling in a positive direction and we're in the negatives, which of course is, when we started this, I just went to, I think the X was 9, and I just spun myself around, and then whichever direction I was pointing closest to, which was west, that's the way we're going. And that's the way we're going. See, if we had the extra time, we would have been where I was actually aiming for. In fact, we've actually exceeded it a little bit. But as I said, the quote-unquote short washer-dryer phase, because of the light load, didn't obviously put as much time into it as I didn't need it. Thank goodness the dryer belt just slipped off after I apparently rotated the drum on the dryer in the wrong direction, which, newsflash to me, I didn't know that doing that could make the tensioner come off and then derail the tensioner, not the belt itself, breaking the belt. I don't know how many times I've rotated the dryer drums in the wrong direction from when I learned to do my own laundry as a teenager. Doing the laundromat, well, those are kind of industrial, so. Or even home dryers. I've spun them both ways and never, ever did that happen. But apparently, either I was stupid lucky and we can move the player. Either we're stupid lucky or it's just not quite the high probability that some people made it out to be that it could happen. Either way, I know, I probably shouldn't be doing that. That was a bad jump. And we can move the player. That was not the position I asked for. Better. Not quite exactly right, but we'll take it and get into this open position. Beautiful, right here. Place. And we're grabbing a bed. And the dead control thing, we gotta remember that. fact, yesterday in terms of when we last played, the game decided, you're trying to move the inventory around? No, we're not going to let you do that. It literally wouldn't let me merge items or anything like that. We are going in the wrong direction still. Well, let's make the bigger number bigger and try to correct for that, especially when there's sheep around. And we go too far, so we can't collect the sheep. Still collecting the wool in case we run low on, we got good wood count there. In case we run a bit, we can break a bit low on the beds and go into a village drought, which can happen. Roof forest, exactly what we don't need. Suddenly the mountains look inviting, as much as they're a pain to deal with. Alright, we need to eat. Gotta keep an eye on the clock, because it can kind of get away with being a little late on the regular breaks, but really try not to do that. Lunch especially, because that is paid time. That is actually unpaid time, and I lose money for every minute that I'm late. Of course, I could stick around to make up the time, but the traffic here, every minute literally counts. Look at that. Oh, that was a bad jump. And that was just a jump where we just couldn't make it, and that was one where we failed to make a, get in the hole. Where? All right, there we go. It looks like we're going to hit snow, but to be honest, it's better than dealing with a jungle. Especially since we got leather boots. I was going to say for a minute, I swore I had a helmet, and I do. I just don't know why I didn't see it. Alrighty. This way a little bit. You're going to ultimately hit the snow. But and micro jumping, not a good thing. And we're almost ready to gain some distance. There we go. Nice jump. Funny thing is, my finger was in the exact same spot where it worked. I gotta keep an eye on the clock. I don't want to go too long. But if we're in a bad spot, I am willing to do that. Oh, okay, there's an opening. Do I want to go here? Yeah. I don't want to be on the tree, as convenience, how it can sometimes be convenient, but not that time. Yeah, I figured it was a wolf. Just, I haven't heard some of the noises the new variants make. So we can move the player. And we can move the player. This is not a good player moving spot. We can... Whoa, there's a little more. Alright, that was a little too far, but... Yeah, we're getting to a point that very soon to just... Okay, that was a brick wall I didn't expect. I just... Okay, I need things to cooperate because I want to end this segment. We can move the player. Yeah, over here. Alright. There we go. See you whenever next time is, I'm not sure. It's looking like we might be back for the next break. We're back. And I think we're just... Oh, that wasn't showing when we initially dropped in. And again, this was kind of hidden. I also see a village, but is it a project? Yeah, it's a project. Yeah, we're not going to be able to get anything up there. Yeah, it needs to be manageable. Can't be doing that. Should look at these faces, see if any coal is on them. Anything that's reachable. Nope. Well, we're going to get close to the 7950 kilometer block, but we're not going to make it. Yeah, that village, unless I said we were extremely desperate, that's too much work, and we got enough to get by. I'm not wasting my time on that. In this short 15 give or take minute segment, as it's raining even more, are we going to get to 7950 or get very close to it? I mean, we're about 1,500 blocks away. Well, just a hair more. Alright, Savannah could be a good or a bad thing. Alright, it looks like it's going to... We're going to get blocked off, so... I also see fire, so there's lava over there. Nice jump. Although the finger was slightly off target. Okay, we can jump. Take a hit there. No, how about the bed? Grab the next one, sleep. All right, now we do have, yeah, we can move. Can do is position myself. How about move the player? There we go. Half block, that way we don't, if there's lava under here, we're not gonna fall. What's also good is one position while we're at it. Now we have 3. Okay, how about not the tool that can wear down. And we can scroll. All right, nothing visible there. Okay, we can move the player. And we could go more this way. If Savannah leads to deserts, that'll be good. In this building, it creaks like whenever it's just breezy. Not even windy, just breezy. And I'm not even talking a stiff breeze either. It sounds like there's a hurricane outside. Oh, Desert Temple. See, good thing I decided to go this way. In fact, we'll swim it. Although it is a little bit breezy outside. You have to go a bit off access to get to it, but that's fine. Yeah, I have to look everywhere. Because even if they're in the open, sometimes monsters spawn within. And we've died trying to go through this. Although, most of the time I could just walk away from the simulation distance, and then everything will be fine. I need to check the position of things, and that's not in a good spot, but that's temporary. That's good. Junk and pretty good there too. Wasn't that bad. It was actually fairly good. And these two, pressing the X. I don't know how many times I need to do that. Got 25 wool, we're doing all right there. Okay, this should be there, and that we'll put with the metals. I also think we can go back to that. And we did get rid of the extra boat, so I mean, might be grasping at straws as to where I could make it a little more efficient. And we can move the player. Okay, we got river flowing through here. That's not bad. Trying to somewhat hang in the savanna slightly in towards the center of where we were, in case a village were to show up. I know we had a village that was in the mountains, but that was a project to get to, and we weren't desperate enough to climb such a big thing just to get a few beds. We got 25 goals, so we can make 8. We can make 8 of them if we really had to. Again, that's going out of the way, not helping in our goal. First or secondary. Somehow I believe the secondary is going to be the one that's actually doable. And we're not terribly far from it. I mean, there's several months still, but relatively speaking, we're getting pretty close. The secondary is the last traversable block, as I've been mentioning. The 8,388,608. Then we gotta find land, or if we get close enough, we'll find land, get some stuff. Bring it to the border. Make an entire whole farm there. Okay, this is gonna go in a wrong direction, so something looks weird there. Oh, there is a village there. I don't like it raining in Bedrock because, like I've said so many times, the thunderstorm mechanic doesn't really work right where we're jumping. Okay, that's water, so that is not where I wanted to go. I cannot move. Yeah, we can go. Alright, a little too much there. Not a big deal here. Move the player. There, I can manage one. Nice jump. Glad the jump button worked. How about move the player? We can try new things. Like I press move the player button, player moves. Starting to get annoyed again. And we can move the player. And this is a useless building, so maybe we need to be this way. And we can move the player. Now we're stuck. We can move the player. Okay. Yeah, we gotta move the player. No, I want chest. Alright, we can get rid of that. add to this. Another useless building. A lot of that here. And we can break. Nope. Which then we can turn into bread. Alright, that'll put us in a good spot. Yeah, wasting a lot of time not moving, but we also need beds. Before I even and that's why okay, no. I wanted to put it there. How about door? How about door? I am so glad that the iron golems don't work like they should. And that one goes through the floor. Actually, I want to grab one more. So with that being said, place. Yeah, board. I hit the board button. Alright, we made it to the 7950 kilometer block. Now the question is my lunch going to get rained out? That's a question mark. We'll see when we come back, whenever that is. We're back. So close, but we are rained out for the day. I mean, I literally see clearing out the window, and it's still raining. And we need to go more this way. Can we go more this way? The answer is yes, although I could have just done this because we could use blocks if we press the magic brake button and the brake thing happens. Although I think we have a gap here. It's not a big one, so if we fell, no big deal. Wow, I don't like the way that just stuttered. Then again, I mean, we just started the game, so... And yeah, there's a good reason why it stuttered. It's a jungle. No. Alright, 1.5 block there. That may have done us in. Just do this a little more. Make the big number bigger. All right, not bad. So it just barely made it into the 7950 kilometer block. We will not get to 7960. Not in this particular episode. Alright, so... Actually, I want to look this way. Alright, things are not looking good that way, but I also see... mangroves the other way. I could be setting myself up to fail, which... how else would things go? And, yeah, alright, a little control be nice. Alright, mangroves. Are we getting locked in? And if the jungles followed the new monster spawning, okay, but them in the roof forest, they still have the half-light rule. It used to be the whole game was if your lighting level it's in 16 levels from 0 to 15. If you were on the upper half, monsters can't spawn. If it's on the lower half, they can. And it was changed with the caves and cliffs because of the massive, gigantic caves that are underground and ridiculous number of resources you would need to light them up to keep monsters from spawning. They changed most of it so that the only light level they would spawn is 0. 1 through 15 would be safe. But the old roof forest jungle and I think it's just those two. That still holds true, the half brightness. No, yeah. It's just so painful to look outside, see that it's clearing up, but it's not clear. The only bad thing right now is the sun's setting over the ocean. Wow, that in itself isn't really a bad thing, is that I've realized after all this time, and notice how the sun looks like it used to? What I do now is I make sure that land is reachable before setting a spawn point. And I'm not talking east or west, because we can't swim fast enough to move. We need to be able to swim north and south to land. Well, that's not the type of land I wanted. But sometimes beggars can't be choosers. The important thing is it's workable. Alright, so bed, sleep. Here we go. Safe spot. Plenty of food. And we can move the player. Forest can be a typical forest can be a little bit of a pain, but it's better than the jungle. And all right, micro jumping is not helping. All right, so actually, let's hit the right button. We were nowhere near. Okay, that'll work. Close enough. Break. Okay, nope, that's not gonna work. This will, I think. Bad place to stop. Still a bad place to stop. That was not a bad place to stop. Okay, this is fine. All right, I see something over there I don't really like. Of course, are we really going to start with the stutters again? Interrupt eating. Good job. Move the player. Here we go. Break. All right, mangrove. Those do not follow the light and dark convention. Everything has to be, if there's any light, it'll not spawn any monsters. Now we gotta use a boat just to move a little bit. Yeah, and that was it. Not what I wanted. Exit. Very tough spot to get in. Well, this was just pointless, almost. So this is the lunch break that, oh wow, I mean, the clearing is heading this way, and it did not get here early enough. There we go, we're moving finally. Well, that is exactly where I didn't want to go. That is exactly where I do not want to go. Move the position. There we go. We can swim up. There we go. Alright, that was a wishful thinking kind of jump. I wonder if the stuttering is the same thing as it is on Windows 10. Let me just see. Alright, that wasn't it then. Okay, not the direction we're going. That is. Okay, I want to aim down so I can kind of see a little bit of what's coming. Oh, we need to eat food. Yeah, because I noticed on Windows 10, whenever I whip my head around like this, it would stutter. Apparently that's not happening here, but I mean, it did happen. How about move the player? Oh, really? Alright, good enough. Alright, we're getting very cooperative terrain. Well, now that I said that. Giant cliff faces are hiding. Just waiting to ruin the adventure. And stick would be nice. Oh, whoa, don't want to go there. Might not have been anything, but don't want to go there. Alrighty. This will be a pretty good spot right here. Good enough. Bed, that shouldn't be there. Alrighty. We'll be at least halfway through this 10,000 block. Oh, village. You know, good thing I decided to go a little further this way. And no. Yeah, a little this way. And we can go up. Doesn't seem to be anything this way or that way. There's gotta be more to it than just this. Can't move the player. Alright, there's stuff down here too. Yeah, okay. I should always look for the path. Chances are it's going to lead to the door. I never seem to do that, and I always wind up heading for the exact wrong entrance. Alright, I think we can ditch the mutton when we get another, well, when we get to the point that we can't grab any more beds. And we can't take it. All right. No more beds. And up here now. You know what? Actually, we should go down here. Gotta keep an eye on the clock, because like I said, well, I don't think I've said it in this episode, but yeah, lunch breaks, they are not paid, so every minute on the clock that I go over, I lose. Actually, I think I did, because I mentioned that I could always make up the time, but it's literally, traffic gets exponentially worse the longer we stay here. place the boat. Get a little further. You know what's funny is, speaking of jungles, I found a woodland mansion before I found a temple, a jungle ruin, not a temple. It might be a jungle temple. The stony thing that you find with treasure in it, that people like myself just break the blocks to get to the hidden room. Oh, look. Now the question is, will it be worth the trip? A little more. There we go. Don't have too much time left. Okay. Position. Thank you. Okay. Oh, the chest is way over there. Well, that wasn't worth it. Board the boat. Alright, I'm gonna call it quits pretty soon. We get to 79.56. Is that a stretch? Even though we're close. Oh, the river still continues. Yeah, and we have, and in spades. So, that's good. Yeah, during the episode, things cleared up. It's probably stopped raining at this point. Oop. Move the player. Move the player. Alright, this is a bit much here. So what we're going to do is... Alright, this is a bit much. Gonna place a boat. Place a boat. That works. And I'm going to point it ever so slightly in the direction we need to go. And that'll be it, because lunch is over. See washer dryer phase. And we're back. The timing kind of sucked. It was break. Break was over. And now we got... And now we have the sun setting. Obviously, by the sound, for those that are familiar, it's washer-dryer phase, which is where this episode's come to an end, but it's also, ironically, where the episodes are, we're going to move the player, where the episodes are actually the meat and potatoes of the entire run come from. Actually, it's not really worth doing it, so we're just gonna move the player a little bit. The boat moves in a direction I don't like. Hopefully that's not too far. We got 32. Oh, that should not be there. We'll move that there. 32 wool. So yeah, the world size is big enough where it needs to be purged again. Might be why we're getting the stutters. Which of course every time I upload the videos to make the episode, I also upload a copy of this world. So if anything were to happen to it, I can just I could put the functioning copy back on the phone. The worst things that have happened thus far is just some minor corruption gaps. Basically missing chunks. But unlike, I should have went the other way. Well, anyway, unlike Java Edition, at least in Bedrock, you can place blocks in corrupt areas. It's just that said areas just have nothing in them initially. Yeah, we are off axis again, but we're moving. And we're avoiding a jungle. At these distances, it kind of helps to avoid them. Although it'd be nice that we can head in the other direction just to keep things as close to 0 on Z as we can. Although that may not be a thing when we get to, as I know I've said it a billion times, if we make it to the last traversable block, 8,388,608. I'd like to get it in this episode where we will be in a good position to actually hit that target. Is this just an island? I was just gonna hop across if it wasn't. Well, we can get across. I mean, not all jungles are bad, it's just the dense mountainous ones. Or as the Minecraft developers like to say, the mountainy ones. Mountainy jungles are now more mountier. And not good for this particular objective. Yeah, jungle isn't all that thick, so... yeah, turn. Yeah, not a place to get off. Alright, let's just go this way, see what happens, where it goes, if it's actually going to help us. Alright, it seems to be an island, and we're somewhat close to 0 on the Z again. Now I'd like to be moving more towards the west. Make the big number bigger. Make that big number bigger. I just find it funny that call the washer dryer phase if we do any extra content beforehand, the wrapping it up, when in fact it's the majority of the show. And sometimes it's the only thing, because it was actually a time killer at a laundromat, so hence the laundry being done while doing this. Plus, it's also a good idea to be where your washing machine and dryer is during use, in case things were to go wrong in ways that are bad, in ways that you could lose your house. If the washing machine were to fail, you could shut it off and unplug it before too much flooding were to occur, outside of what's already in the drum at the time. And of course, if the dryer were to fail or catch fire, right there can unplug it or get the fire extinguisher on it. Actually, we'll just go this way because it seems to continue. And regular fourths are a bit of a pain, just as an obstacle, but not that big of a deal in most cases. I did not clear that block I thought I was going to. Savannas can be a good thing, especially if there's villages. We're not in dire need of one of those yet. Freedom ended on that side, and it looks like it ends here, which we had a pretty good run. And breaky break goes our little... Alright, first thing first, that goes there. Then we do this, make a diamond sword, and yep. Actually, while we're at it, let's inventory. We got 6. Let's just I chose this. We should see it. Alright. Nothing really good in diamond armor yet. And jumping. It did try to jump. I did see it make a jump, so I can't say that it failed. Well, that's why we aim down a little bit, so we can see what's coming up a little easier. Although they overdid it with this, with the quote-unquote decoration, which is what the grass is considered. Move the player. Move the player. And once again, move the player. And where there's a small descent, I try to jump so we can keep the player moving. Because if we don't, we just simply drop straight down without moving, which is, that was a bit much, but not terribly bad. It's just for the sake of moving faster. And my finger was off the mark there. We're jumping. It was not off the mark that time. Turn. Yeah, I think this world's getting a little too big. I'm just going to back up ever so slightly, just so that there'll be maybe a little less real estate where bad things are gonna spawn in a little further ahead. We're hitting it fast because we want to hit it just before it gets too dark for things to spawn down there, or at least minimize the chances of. Okay, over here and jump. Well, that's what we could do. Over here. I stopped that time because I wasn't sure if I saw a pit. Better safe than sorry, but then the one time I go for it, it's where I die and fall in a pit of death. Kind of how it works. Oh, and this just doesn't really go anywhere. So again, it's the day I put these together, Sunday, because once again I was visiting parents, and as I always say, being pretty old, is if you're in your 50s and both your parents are still alive, which is not a very likely thing, so lucky me. Go and visit them. They're not going to be around much longer. And even if the numbers are a little different, I'm a little skittish going that way now. And jumping. See, don't always, I go and visit them once a month, and I come back late, so I just don't have the energy to do this on Saturday nights, usually. Alrighty. The 7960 kilometer block. I looked over just when we hit it, because I wanted to see how much longer before we did hit it. I thought I saw a village, and you know, here it is. We don't need too many beds. Again, we've let that thing drop, but we did, it did land on a half block increment, so we're good. Okay, I let go a little early there. This is a useless building. However, this one is not. We just need one more. I was aiming at the door. So basically, the Watch Me Suck at Bowling video, which I do first, and then I process this one. That one is, as we speak, is being processed. And the timing is that once the laundry is done, that's typically done. Placing the boat. That went a little far. So yeah, I'm gonna purge the world today. And like I always say, when I put the videos of this episode on the computer for editing, the first thing I actually do is make a backup of the world. So if I wind up really messing things up, then I will revert back to, I got a copy I can put back on. Although the phone and the computer don't seem to want to talk much lately. Just seems at times it doesn't want to, it's not capable of sharing files, or it's not capable of, it's not even capable of showing that anything exists. It's not the allow or deny thing that comes up when you attach it to a machine that it either hasn't been attached to or hasn't been attached to for a while. That I get. Break. In fact, it even tells you whether to allow or deny access. Go. Go. Of course, I see the water over there, but I'm staying on land because out this far, you actually travel just as fast on land as you do on water. And if the land is fairly quickly navigable, then yeah, just stick with it. Don't need to go out of your way. And I see the other village, but I am full. We're just going to do a drive-by, see if we can see a smithy. They're very rare in these kind of villages. Although if the sun were coming down, which I know it isn't going to because we haven't been at it long enough. Yeah, I don't see one. Like I said, we just filled up at the one that was not that far from there. Alright, so if we can get to 79, 75, it'll be very doable. Actually, we don't even need to actually do that because, spoiler alert, not in terms of progress, because what you're seeing is currently what it is that there's going to be extra material for the next edition because tomorrow on Monday, there's supposed to be as we New Englanders call it, a nor'easter. Nor'easter, for those without the accent. It's like a really, really it's like a tropical storm without the it's usually not anywhere near as bad, with typically nowhere near as much rain. But if you're along the coast of New England, it kind of sucks. Again, we're just looking and walking by. because we already have what we need. So, I mean, unless total and utter disaster happens. Actually, if there's a building right here, which there is, oh, of course it's one of the useless buildings. Maybe. Yeah, it is. Those came out of nowhere. You know what? We don't have time. We're just gonna have to place a bed. Place. Can't place it on here. Worked before. Or maybe it never had. I'm thinking of something else. Alright, we do need a bed. Now we can move the player like I tried to do. Move the player. There we go. Moving the player. Imagine that. Maybe this is not a good idea. Actually, we don't need to do that. Let's get a bed here. And sloppy aim there. Not the position. Let's make it a blue one next time, then a yellow one. Alright, just a tiny village. And this time we head away down. And we can move the player. Everything has to be a project. What should have been simple? Nope. Yeah, we're gonna have to do that a little bit. Thought we could just get right by that rock. Apparently not. And like I said so many times, the good thing about a boring ocean is that we're getting there faster. Now this is the fastest way to, for our objective to get to where we're going. You know, in terms of traversing in general, it isn't. The ice highways built in the Nether is the fastest way to go. or using the multiplication factor, teleporting back and forth between the nether and the mainland is actually the fastest way to get anywhere. But we're trying to get to a certain place as fast as possible, and taking the time to build a highway just defeats the entire purpose. Whereas we used to use the nether, if you've seen the early episodes, to try to make advancements, but then the precision errors in the nether were enough that it was becoming more of a liability than it would be a help. So it just stopped using it. And of course, once we get to the point we can't do normal traversing of terrain, someone might be thinking, why don't you just go to the nether and teleport your way there? The problem with that is you're in an area when you're back in the overworld past the 8,388,608 where the precision error is 1 block, and since the player is not 1 block in size in any dimension, well, except height, but that doesn't matter, you're just going to fall through the world and die. So there's absolutely no way you're going to survive the return trip. So once we reach there, we have to stay on something a block or bigger in order to not fall through the world. As I found out, don't have to be mounted or sitting on something. It just has to be something that's bigger than a block in size. Because I've been experimenting now with I've experimented with mining. Again, bounces onto the land. I've been experimenting with the mining. And if that jump worked. And I'm working with trying to find a way to... Okay, that's not going to end, so... Dave grilled it, but hey, it was worth it. No, we're going to be up here now. Okay, jumping. Hate these slow progressions, but if it gets us there, we could jump. Okay, my finger was a little off. Hey, thanks for coming down. And of course, we're getting the sheep wool. Okay, over here. For the sake of... Actually, how much lumber do we have? 50. Alright. And I'm not going to stop at every point I see a sheep, but where there's an opening, I'll take it. Alright. The idea is that if, and I know it happens, and it has, where we get into a lack of villages. Alright, I'm just gonna move the player. So we're at 50, 54, 58. And 62. Oh, we cannot grab anything. Oh well. This just generated. And missed the jump there. Pressing, yep. Placing the boat. I see an opening here, so I'll take it here. Is it? I have went for the openings to find out there wasn't one. So I go where I know there is one. Yep, and up. Oh, I think I see a village. Jumping, pressing the button. Might mean do the job. Okay, we'll just do this. Yeah, there's a village there. Yeah, that's... We need to be moving now. Also getting close to sunset. In fact, it is at sunset. Oh, come on. Well, we could use that. We could use these, and timing sucks, as usual. And we're jumping. Really, can we just not have a house that we could just go in? Alright, I can't. I just need to be able to sleep. Just let sleep happen. Place. Thank you. Alright, and before we continue on, I'm just going to be sure I'm safe because the washer is done. Dryer phase is next. See you then. And we're back. You know, again, just to play it safe, I'm just going to leave that bed. We can get the tube back from this building. And in we go. That's one. Let's just go for an easier one. Which is a useless building. I swore there was a... There it is. And I got it. Yeah, let's make it purple this time. And we'll switch this around. jump. Alright, that building I think is useless. This building is also kind of meh. These kind of weren't, but whatever. Alright, now I will go for this. Because these, unlike regular water, can go a lot faster. Unfortunately, if the oceans are like this, we don't go faster anymore. And yeah, how come we didn't pick it up? Oops. That was a pointless jump. And we're not in dire need of anything, so quick little inspection and move on. In fact, we'll just do a secondary look when we get a little higher up on this little bit of mountain. Yeah, nothing really there. So it's kind of weird that going from a tiny load of laundry to now the normal large linen run, which, oh, I don't like seeing what I'm seeing there. Oh, back when these used to be fun and we could speed through all the icebergs, now we can't. However, it isn't too bad if everything in between the iceberg is ocean in its entirety, not broken up. And this is a crevasse that we don't want to be in. That would have hurt. It wouldn't have killed us. This, on the other hand, actually getting closer to zero by going this way. It's amazing how much slower running looks when precision errors aren't involved. Let's get what we can. Not the direction we want to go, but we've corrected and, well, no choice at this point. Okay, a little more this way. Rather have a larger block to be on. good. Thing is, I can't move. It's gonna be a little difficult. Okay, that actually lined up, so it wasn't as difficult as I thought. And we've got a bit of river like this, it's fine. Although completely unobstructed is even better. Yeah, only the rivers are helpful now. Rivers and lakes. These, not so much, again, unless it's entirely ocean. And we're getting there. And there we go. Back into the ocean. So I still got to experiment with, I have ideas on how to try to sleep off sections of when we get to the 1-block precision error zone. It involves blocking every which possible place that you can spawn, except for a couple of blocks that are placed over a boat. Because as I've mentioned, unless you're zooming, fast forwarding through bits and pieces, which who can blame you for something like this? Although you're not getting your, it's not helping you fall asleep faster if you're doing that. Nothing. But something which I cannot grab until now. Yes. We can make another one of them. Yeah, right here would be fine. Roof force that way, so we're going this way. wasn't terribly bad. I think what we'll do is circumvent some height by using a tree. Yeah, wasted one there. And jumping. We did not successfully move that way, not a big deal. So you can see we easily could just have moved there ourselves if it failed. And I see water. Generally a good thing. Thought there was a gap there. And we got a village. But yeah, okay. Yep, jumping. Okay, how about we actually move the player? I think it's just a regular building down there. Yep, jumping, moving the player. How many beds do we need? Just one. Take this one. We got it. We did not. Alright, do we have any buildings that are useful? What's the hardest one to get to? No, not even that one. Wow. Oh, wait a minute. I think this building might... I don't know. Nope. Only one useful building that I could see. I'm not going to waste time combing it over. Yeah, steep, we let the drop happen naturally. And again, mistimed that. Short trip, I don't I think we're going to need to worry about the exact angle of the camera there. Okay, I could use some moving ability. And jumping. Ooh, we have deserts, and either that's a village, which I think that is. A little short on approach and jump. Yeah, I guess you can stay there then. Unless we've bypassed it. Okay, I think we can go. It seems this new update's a bit laggy. I noticed that on Windows 10 as well. I could also use one more bed. And I'm trying to hit jump. I have a choice of two. And that's why. You know what? Let's make lime green the next one. That's something we... Nope, I was aiming at the chest. Entirely different answer. And move the player. And move the player. Very rare that there's a smithy in these. They do exist, and it's, again, very rare. Oh, here's the rest of the village. Nothing we really need, though. And we're jumping. And now we're... well, whatever. As it goes, we'll pillar up if we're near usable land, or we'll set up on an island if there is a place we can go to. Didn't think I may or may not have mentioned in one of the rain out plays of this game is glad they brought the sun back to how it looked. Now this is not an ideal situation, but it will work. So we can find living animals. Well, yeah, you're hoping they're living if you're gonna place. Alright. As we could always get into the jungle, which looks like it's not all that bad. Then we got the mangroves. The only thing that sucks about those is navigating, but that's about it. Jungles could be anything. They could be horrendous. They could be easy. They could be Pretty much dark monster closets. And go. In this case, it was somewhat easy to get around. Alright. That should be good. Bust a few of these. And that is what we were hoping not to have. And done. Yep, jump. Swamp, that's even better, actually. These generally aren't too bad. Nice jump. Well, trying to avoid the thing we can't. Well, we got to the concentrating here. Somehow disembarked. Not sure how I did that, but we did. And we're moving. And no matter how we slice it, we have to go through a roof forest. We have a bit of it that doesn't look all that bad, though. And, nope, don't do that. So 79.70. Okay, we can move the player. And now you see why I paused there, because I wanted to make that jump, which for some reason we actually made. And yeah, we want to go this way. And we're jumping. Break. And jumping. No, we didn't want block placement. We want jumping. Oh well. And we got to the top. And move the player. Somehow I got that. Alright, that's just going the wrong way. Let's do this. Jump. Did that time. Over here. And move the player. Also, if we have low clearance, I just let the drop happen. As I've said, if it's a small enough of a drop, I'd like to jump so that the player keeps moving forward as we decrease in elevation. Just an inlet. That's turning into mountains. So we're still going a bit off axis. Yep, up. Break. Let's see what we get here. Going a bit off axis still, but it provides the best way to get around. We're not going that far out. Well, that was a weak attempt. But either way, we can do that. Jumping. Be nice if the jump button worked. Oh. Alright, so I got this little land bridge we can use. Ooh, we actually were able to glide to it. That's a good thing. This looks like a river. We can jump when we press the jump button. That's just going nowhere that we care. And we changed weaponry all of a sudden. Jump. That was very important. And move the player. And move the... let's try this again. Move the player. Pointless jump there. Jumped over something there. There. Village over there. Nice jump. Okay, over here. And jumping. Imagine that. We need 2 beds. Eat the food. Alright, still. And out of reach. World it goes. That was entirely useless. Got that one. And that can go there. Let's have orange next time. And the smithy I completely overlooked. Great. That's definitely a help. And the rest I don't think is all that bad. Yeah, so yeah, we're good. Boat, and now boat the boat. So yeah, I'm visiting the parents. So a couple of years ago, my father crossed the 80 mark, and we usually go and visit them at the beginning of the month, but I waited for an extra week because it was just a couple days after my mother crossed the 80 mark. So yeah, if you're old like I am and you have both your parents or even just one, visit them. You ain't got a lot of time left. Be extremely lucky if I had another decade. And that's extremely lucky. I have a feeling there's just a handful of years left before one of them goes. Ain't saying which. Ooh, it did not fall through the world. Good. Regular old style swim. Because that lets the player keep moving. Move the player. Slight overshoot. Now what we do is put the boat in the water. Place. Alright. And this doesn't look good. Now we're going to go to extremes. Worth it. Now where to put the bed? That would be an answer. Yeah, we got to deal with this now. Because it doesn't look like it ends anywhere near. Ooh, that actually worked for some strange reason that I can't explain. How about this regular swim? Regular swim. There you go. Brake. Brake. Perhaps that's what the brake button is for. I just make the jump happen. We got 53 of these, so make it 54. And we're jumping. Brake. Oh, we didn't break that one. Nope, no ducking. It's the player. Oh, over here. Jump, I have no idea why I did it. No. Brake. Yeah, that one's tricky. I'm not going to go for that sheet. Jumping. Yeah, that's not going to work unless we have headroom. Regrettable decision time. Why are we not moving? Because we're on a half block. Break. Okay, just want to move. And go. And move the player. Nope, not ducking, moving. Oh, we're not swinging swords, we're trying to move the player. Okay, jump. Break. Perhaps breaking means break. Okay, that's gonna lead to a pit, so okay, move the player. Nice to jump. Oh, that time again, see my finger was not on the appropriate spot. Again, such a large drop, we're just letting the player drop till here. Stopped because I wasn't. The game made a random jump and I was actually able to capitalize on it, which was good. We have a river down here. Looks like we have a big opening. And we can move the player. Place the boat. And I see a roof forest forming, so obviously we're going to not go in that direction. Help is if I press the jump button and we jump. Break. Why are we not sword? I asked for sword. Here's a trick. Pressing the X. Can't get up there that easy. Just place a bed there. Now we're up there. Almost 50% of the way towards through the next 10,000. We just need the jump button to do the jump thing, which would be nice. Can we go this way? The answer is yes. All we have to do is move the player. There it is. This, we might have to slow it down a little bit. And jump. And jump. Good enough. And out this far, you got to waggle the boat. You can't just point it in the direction you want to go. You have to break the 5 block per second barrier, and if you don't, east and west travel is not possible. Hence why you have to jump in order to make progress in either the east or west directions. Because you won't move otherwise. North and south, the z-axis, which we're now negative 220 plus, it's normal play in that direction. And that is not going in a direction that's favorable. How about we go where I'm pointing? Jump. Do the tree thing. Oh, this one didn't go very high, but that's pretty much all we can move the player. That's all we pretty much needed. Almost where we wanted. Close enough. And just to get a few more of those, why not? good we got over the waterfall. Jumping. How about some jumping? I didn't say sword, I said jumping. Go. Close, but not quite. Okay, over here. Then over here. Then over here. No, I don't want jumping. I want moving the player. I mean, squatting down. Break. That works. Just go. Finally, some progress. How about the sword? Okay, we didn't have to straddle over to the side. Alright, that was interesting how that formed. It doesn't look like it actually... Oh, it actually might go to a body of water. Alright. Of course, as soon as I go this way, because that looks clear, that thing happened. And it also doesn't really let me up either. How we doing? Okay, we need to get rid of some junk. That's that, and that's that. That should work on this. Nope, don't want to duck, want to move. Want to move. Move is the opposite of what you're doing. Alright, it's getting dark. Bed, place, sleep. Good. Clears away the rain. Whoa. Alright, would not have been fatal. That worked out. And why are we not... Okay, we're not moving because that block is where I didn't think it was. It's the player. Jump. And we're jumping. Okay, missed the button again. Did not miss the button. Instead it just swings swords. Not pressing swing the sword button. No, we don't want to go that way. One too many. Better off. Go. Go. This forest hasn't been too bad, although I don't like that water. Nope, I want food. And it is selective whether or not swimming works or not. Well, that was as good as we could get with what we had. Bit more movement, and we're not doing too bad. Can we get to the 79-80 kilometer block? Setting us up for next episode. Purged World and 80 million. Alright, this isn't gonna work. How about over here? Now move the player. There we go. 70% of the way through the next 10,000. Looks like we're roadblocked again. Yeah, it just keeps on going, so I'll just take it over here. Alright, we got the boat back, that's important. Okay, we're lined up with that, so did not work. Surprise, surprise. Yep, jumping. This way will be a little easier. Still got a little way to go. No, I want sword. I want control of the game. To move. Brake. Move the player. Okay, it opens up. I was going to say, that's going to be a tight squeeze between the lava and us. Okay, we're just going to stop right here. Place a bed. There we go. Oh, yes, I meant to say this in the previous segments. Fortunately, don't have to say previous video. Almost would have if I just didn't think of it now. But the original, well, somewhat original Java Edition alpha version a big thumbs up and congratulations to Kurt J. Mack for reaching his farlands. And now he's continuing the adventure through them, which I think is a very interesting thing to do. Hopefully it will go on for quite a bit longer. No, we can't be there. Move. And how about up? How about turn? I don't think we're going to be making it to ours. I mean, the original Bedrock farlands are not going to be a thing. They've been removed. So now we've got the striped variant. And we can jump when the jump button is pressed. Wow, I like that idea. I'll probably try it someday. Anyway, I'm going to use a tree to gain some height. And jump, jump, jump. Not sword, sword, sword. Am I seeing what I don't want to see? And yes, I am. But we got a river, hopefully. Not a lake, but a river. Move the player. Placing the boat. 83% of the way there. And of course I'm measuring the percentage as to every 10,000. This way. So while he continues his adventure, I'm continuing mine to at least the last traversable block, we hope. Village, and we gotta go off axis a bit again, and we're under the 256, which, like I said, out this far doesn't really seem to make a real difference on anything. Alright, that's nice. Useless building. I should have looked for a chimney on the side and I didn't bother. Beds, we need 4. We need 4, and we're gonna we also use a farmer so we can get some XP and a little more food the easier way. That's 1, I think. player. And one more. Is this a useless building? Yep, useless building. I know that building has tons of beds, but I want to see what's up here as well. The 2-block high thing is not going to work. Let's actually just check these buildings. Alright, I'm going to go with this one first. These usually have a farmer in them, and I noticed just before I even set it. And that one, okay, good. Wait a minute. Yeah, we're good. That might have fallen through the world and I miscounted. Alright, we're good. Topped out on food. How are we on that anyway? 43. Let's make it 44. That was dumb. We should have just kept going this way. Then we could go this way. Okay, there was a drop I didn't see, and I see myself not moving. Moving the player. Move the player, move the player, keep moving. There we go. Good. Jump. Good. Place. Good. Boating. Good. Less than 10% of the way through this 10,000. No, I don't want duck. Well, I see what we don't want. Now we might have to do it. No, we need to be moving. Alright, that's not a big deal there. I had to be sure of that. It looked like there was a sheer drop. And that was the time I should have just let him fall down. Ooh, we made that work. This is not good. jumping. We weren't swinging the sword. We were trying to play jump. Alright, we got by the other crevice of death. Alright, we're letting it go a little too long here. Eat the food. Much better. 94% of the way, almost 95. All right, spruce trees. That's better than roof forest. Okay, we can move the player. Ooh, this definitely is going to help move the player. Oh, and we made it to the 7980 kilometer block. We are set up very well. How much of a village do we have here? Wish it came a little sooner. Okay, useless building, and I think I'm stuck here. Okay, how about move this way? Yep. This way. Looking for smithies. I think we got enough beds. We need one, actually. Now we'll go over here. Useless building. I forgot that it was. Move the player. Ah, too far. You know what? Did we get it? Yes, we did. Sometimes it's hard to tell. Alright, we're good there. Not what we want to do. We don't want to hit him. Smithy, yep, move the player. Alright, we don't need any of that, except for this. We could use that. Everything else looks fine. Jump, jump, jump. Of course, when we're under the roof, that's when you jump. Another one. Wow, that was crap. And move the player. Alrighty, so next next sleep we'll see how many more we have till the dryer's done, and go from there. Made it to 79.80, which is very good. Oh, too late. The bad thing about this extra quote-unquote decoration from one of the updates is you can't see those ocean monuments coming up. I won't say you can't see it anymore. There's times when things are not as not as dense and popular like it is right there, where we could have seen it if it were in that spot. I gotta be a little more careful on purging the world this time. What I should plan on, I just would take all the data files, all the region stuff, and just delete it all. And then it just goes, it recreates the world based on where I'm positioned. What I probably should do is delete everything but the most current, if I can somehow manage to do that. I can't. And like I say, I always back up the world in case something were to go wrong with the one that we're playing on. Which way to go? Oh, this way right now. We have a touch circle that just is staying there. It'll disappear when we get to a point that we aren't gonna have to get off anyway. Of course the game does this. Nice jump. Nice jump. And again, trifecta of failure. Whoa. That time we stopped because we weren't sure if that was going to continue to where we were. That was just poor. That's just me falling into a tiny crevice. Nice jump. Much longer with this. 50 seconds at this point. So, yeah, there. Oh, we don't have any real way of a good jump here. Won't matter right now because bed, sleep. And we have 2 more. Now let's jump when the jump button is pressed. Ooh. Alright, easier to go this way. So going into this pit is kind of a necessity. That's all, folks. Anyway, I'll just use that up. It's a little too close for comfort there. Jumping. Eat. Jumping. Move. Jumping. Well, we did make it. Break. I don't have a way. Not exactly how I wanted it to go, but at least it went somewhere. Jumping. Until now. No, how about here, where I was standing? How about move the player? Alright, not what we were looking for. This could be bad. But we cleared it, so it's not bad anymore. Nice jump. That was just poor. We're at 46. Nice jump. I'm not sure about what's there. I don't want to find out. I'd like to move. Oh, there was something at least. No. No, backwards a little bit. Break. Sword. Move the player. There we go. Jumping. Oh, yeah. Go this way a little bit. Stop just short. That's not what I wanted, but pressing X. There we go. And now the next sleep is the last. I'll tally up where everything is and how we're doing. Alright, we used enough of those. Let's just this one and move. Oh, 15% battery power. Well, we're almost done. And go. Not what we wanted. Oh, do we have a cool feature, or is it just not rendering yet? It just didn't render. Never mind. Break. This needs some purging, although that might not necessarily be the ultimate reason behind the stuttering. Jump. Alright, we need to be moving the player now. Move the player. Block. Thank you. Alright, that helped. The player. Let's eat the food. 95%, that'll be enough to replenish health. for a minute, I thought I saw village farming, but nope, that wasn't the case. Trees were just separated in a way it looked like it. Be about more than 50% of the way towards the next 10,000 to 79.90. We're across that halfway point right now. Next sunset is the end of this run, and then I'm going to purge the world, and hopefully everything will be good once I make a backup. I say the only technical glitches are things that will not end this run. Making a dumb decision or failing to do something. In other words, normal gameplay, that would be what ends it. So if it winds up with corrupted areas that don't let us actually advance in any way, shape, or form. But the good thing is that it's the simulation distance, or that, is set to 4 chunks, so the chunk that I'm continuing in plus 4 in any given direction are the only ones that are ill-affected if it were to go bad. But I'm hoping not. About almost 60% of the way through. Wonder if the thing's gonna get to the 5% battery. It's been chugging a bit today. It was given some challenges. We are definitely set up, unless major catastrophe happens, to hit the 8 million mark next time, or 8,000 kilometers. Any moment now. Oh, that's the worst. All right, we need land. And that's not what I wanted to see. Okay, the sun's coming down. Again, usable land will set up shop nearby if it's dark. If you get there before it's sunset time, good. This might be another instance where I'm going to just have to sleep and then give you the end result. Something up here. That is not good land, but well, it's something. All right, so more or less we are at, let's just break this, 7,987,868, and this is one way. Georgia 551 saying, hope you enjoyed and have a good one. Good night, everybody.